Hello all. Have you ever heard people saying, "Oh, your tummy looks, a little bit lower, a little bit higher. You might be having a girl, you might be having a boy. Your face looks swollen, your nose looks bigger. So you might be having a boy. You are full of acne. Your skin color is changing. That might, tell you which baby you're having inside." Or drinking or eating something will change the skin color of the baby, and doing something will affect your baby, and exercise will cause this, doing that will cause something else. So there are so many myths concerning this pregnancy. Yeah, so I'm just going to brief you about top 10 myths of pregnancy. Yeah, without any further delay, let's begin with it. Hi, welcome all. Welcome back to my channel Women Health Facts. In this channel, you'll get tips regarding your pregnancy, your fertility, and anything and everything concerned with women's health. Today's topic is myths in pregnancy. So myths are not so rare. I guess there is no part of healthcare, or for that matter in any part, myths are always there. So it's over a period of time, people come to certain conclusions which has no scientific meaning, or which has no scientific proof or evidence to support those claims. Yeah, so I'm just going to brief you about few of the myths, or few of the things which you get to hear most frequently during pregnancy, and which doesn't really have any scientific evidence, and which most of the patients ask me in my clinical practice. So yeah, first and foremost is, is it really possible to know the gender of the baby without, the gender of the baby is something which is very sure, it should be very accurate, or it should be very sure. Only way to find out that is by doing an ultrasound scan, or only after the birth. So there are so many myths when it comes to what baby is growing inside you. I guess people are more curious about that fact. So whether it is a girl or a boy, whether the shape of your the shape of your tummy, or the skin color, or anything for that matter, will not be able to tell whether it is a girl or a boy. For that matter, sometimes even the scan also can, it is a girl or a boy. Other than the ultrasound is doing some complicated stuff like an amniocentesis, where you literally see what is the chromosomal pattern of that baby. Otherwise, if you believe somebody, if you hear somebody saying that if you're having dark skin, or if your face is swollen, or if your face is feeling full, you're having a boy, or else you're having a girl. Or if your tummy is low down, you're having a boy. If your tummy is high up, it is you're having a girl. So these are all weird stuff who people really ask me in the clinical practice, if the baby's heartbeat is less than 130, it's a girl. More than, I don't know whether it is true, whether it is correctly I'm telling it or not, but none of these factors are true. No way you can find out whether it is a girl or a boy other than a person who is doing an ultrasound will tell you, or if you are doing a chromosomal analysis. Yeah, so don't believe any of those stuff. So if you are very curious, you'll have to definitely wait till you give birth. For that matter, it doesn't matter whether it's a girl or a boy. You just need a healthy baby to be born. That's it. Yeah. Second most common thing is just drinking something or eating something will it change the skin color of the baby. So it's very important to know that the skin color of the baby is genetically predetermined. Okay, so how much of melanin pigment is there in the body, in the baby's skin, that only will decide the skin color for that matter. So whatever the skin color it is always predetermined. So drinking something or eating something will not dramatically change the color. It's all a myth. Just keeping that thing in mind. Don't believe blindly whatever people say. Yeah, it's not true. And third most common thing is, you are not allowed to have intercourse or sex during the pregnancy. So it's completely normal or okay to have, because there are certain conditions where your doctor will certainly advise you not to have a sex or intercourse during pregnancy, like if you have any bleeding issues, if you have any low-lying placenta, or if you are having cervical incompetence or short cervix or something like that. Otherwise, if you don't have any of these complications, it's very well okay to have sex or intercourse during pregnancy. Next thing is eating papaya or eating pineapple. Yeah, raw papaya, it has got a chemical called latex or papain, which are known to cause some miscarriages only if you eat a raw papaya or something like that. That is also not scientifically proven. If it's a very ripened papaya, it has got no danger to it. And next thing is the pineapple. Pineapple has got a chemical called bromelain, so that usually address that will cause the preterm birth or early miscarriages or something like that. There is no scientific evidence or anything to prove that. So if you really believe that these two things can cause some complications in your pregnancy, you can just very well avoid it. If you're really fond of it, there is nothing wrong in taking it. Yeah. Next thing is exercise or doing yoga, something like that is contraindicated. It's not advisable during pregnancy. That's a complete myth, because doing these things will cause the baby to strangle or baby can get hurt. Doing exercise in pregnancy is very much advisable if you're really wishing to have a normal delivery, if you're wishing to have a normal pregnancy without going into any complications. If you want to maintain a healthy weight gain, it's very much okay to do exercise. There are certain sports which you should avoid though, which will increase your risk of falling, like scuba diving and contact sports, horseback riding and all, which will increase the risk of falling. Otherwise, if you don't have any underlying complications or anything, it's very much okay to do some exercise. If you have any complications like severe anemia or any bleeding during pregnancy or any high blood pressure or high sugars or something like that, then maybe definitely you should try and get your doctor's advice. If you are okay to do it, it's very much okay. Doing exercise will not put you or your baby at risk of any injury or anything. Yeah. So next thing is, it's okay to drink wine during pregnancy. It's the most casual thing, or it's a biggest myth. Drinking any amount of alcohol with any percentage of alcohol is not advisable during pregnancy. Say no to it. That's it. There is no more to discuss in that topic. So whatever it is, if any drink is containing alcohol in it, it is contraindicated. You should not be consuming it during pregnancy. Yeah. Next important thing is, you should avoid spices. I don't know, I heard this weird stuff where if eating spices can cause blindness and can cause preterm birth and everything in the baby. It's totally wrong. There is no evidence which has shown that people who had some spices led to this problem. It's a biggest myth. So if you're really fond of spices, you can definitely have it. The only thing is, it might increase your risk of acidity or heartburn. If you are more prone for that, try and avoid it. Otherwise, per se, it will not cause any risk to the baby. And one next thing which is very weird and which I have heard is lifting your hands up to dry the clothes or something like that will pull the umbilical cord and it might strangle the baby. I don't know who comes up with all this stuff, but it's not true. It's not correct to say like that, lifting your hands up. For that matter, people do so much of exercises and everything in pregnancy. Nothing has been proven to cause strangulation or anything to the baby. Yeah. Next thing is dyeing your hair. So using some chemicals on your hair to change the color of your hair will cause harm on the baby. It's not true. So if you're really fond of dyeing your hair, you can very well go and do it. And next important thing is, if you are not allowed to do some threading or the waxing or some facials, it's very much okay. Just because you're pregnant, that doesn't mean you should always look down on your beauty rituals. It's very much okay to take care of your skin and to take care of your hair and everything. So if you are doing threading or rather than going for some chemical peels or something like that, waxing is definitely fine in pregnancy. And facials, just don't go for any advanced chemical peels or something like that. You can always have some basic natural organic facials or something like that. Yeah, you can definitely do your beauty rituals. Only thing is, avoid going to the steam baths or spas where you will be exposed to lots of steam. Yeah. And next thing is avoiding completely caffeine. I have also told many times you should avoid coffee. So if you are too much fond of it, 1 cup in a day is definitely fine. There is a certain limit which you should not cross. Beyond that, drinking 1 or maximum 2 cups of coffee in a day should not affect your pregnancy that much. So, and last thing is, which has got some evidence to it, is, you know, if you have increased heartburn, your baby is having too much of hair, and if you have less heartburn, your baby is having less hair. There was a small study which they had conducted, which actually showed, you know, babies who had lots of hair gave too much of heartburn to their mothers, and you know, babies who have less hair can get less heartburn. Okay, for that matter, heartburn is common in most of the pregnancies. So if you want to believe it, it's okay. There's nothing harm in believing it, that, you know, if you're having too much of heartburn, maybe you can compensate yourself saying that, yeah, maybe my baby comes out with lots of hair in it. Yeah, so I guess these are all the myths which you know, I could narrow it down to myths in pregnancy, and whether to believe it or not. So at the end of the day, so if you really want to believe it, because most of the time your parents might tell about it, your grandmothers can tell about it, so people who have experienced it can tell about it. There is nothing wrong in listening to them. Just blindly don't believe, and blindly just don't follow whatever they are telling. Yeah, so that's it for today, and I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, stay healthy and drink plenty of water. Bye bye.